Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go and put a hashtag pajama in the comments below. So know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. Today is actually day 315 of my new adventure documentation. I'm kind of documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar offline world of real businesses to the online world of businesses as I help myself to be able to work in my pajamas, doing what I want, when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want. Because I know and I knew that as I was transitioning out of my brick and mortar business as part of my divorce, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something that gave me actually more physical freedom than my past life had, my corporate America life and my owning brick and mortar physical businesses where I'd go to that business every day, or other people had to go to that. I didn't go there every day, I admit it, where other people would have to go to that business and that location and do things, physically do things every day. I knew that there was another world out there and I wanted to explore it. So when I was given the opportunity to do that, I jumped in with both feet. And ever since then, I've been working on how can I duplicate my offline success online. And it's different. It's definitely a very different world, which makes it fun and interesting and challenging to figure out all the nuances of it. But like everything else, there is a process, there's a system. And frankly, I hate to admit it, but I've spent a long time figuring out what that system is. And I guess making it my own. I think I've been studying the different people that are experts in it, but I've just given myself permission to make it my own and take everything that I've learned and create a system that works for me. Now, I did that with my health several years ago. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and died. And when I came out of that, I went on a mission to study and learn and figure out what worked, what would work, and what would make sure that I didn't die in the next 3 to 6 years. Because statistically, that was the numbers. The vast majority of people that have a sudden cardiac arrest or a health event like I did, unless they make massive lifestyle changes, aren't around. In 3 years is a big cutoff mark, and then 6 years is another big cutoff mark. Now I'm at the 8+ years mark, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think it means that I've gotten over that hump with respect to the changes that I had to make in my life and in my lifestyle. But I'm kind of doing the same journey, the same type process as I learn about the online world and what works in the online world and what doesn't work. Because as much as I'm a rule bender, I know that there are things that make life easier, and I want to know what those are, and I want to follow the process of that. And that's about 80 to 90% of success in anything. Almost anything can be broken down to a process. Anything you want, anything, absolutely anything you want can be broken down to a 5-step process. We'll talk about that one day. But absolutely anything. There's 5 steps to anything that you want. There's probably only 3, but I like to break it into 5 so that people feel like they're understanding and getting more meat to the potato with the potatoes. But so today, what am I working on? As I was writing, I wrote Ketchup as the title today, and as soon as I wrote it, I thought, am I really catching up, or is everything happening exactly as it should? Because I believe that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Have I struggled and tried to figure things out and had, bumps in my road doing this online stuff? Absolutely. But that is because I was missing a piece, and I'm still missing pieces that I need to learn and understand, and I need to grow as a person to be the person that can lead the organization that I want to lead. That was a circular way of saying, I'm not going to get what I want until I become the person that can handle what I want. Even though I think I want $1 billion and 1 billion followers, I'm not yet capable of handling that. I have not grown enough as a person, in my opinion, to handle that. So that would be an example. That's an interesting example. So as I wrote Catchup, I'm like, am I really catching up, or am I just really doing what I need to do today that isn't the exact right time? Because I've been working on other projects with other people, and today I get a day to actually work on my own projects. Yesterday I snuck in a little bit. I'm working on that 5,000 person challenge. Remember, I got to get 5,000 people to a site without spending any money, no advertising dollars, zero, zip, nada. It's a challenge that somebody's given me, and I've been so busy on other people's projects the last 3 to 4 weeks, I have not even hardly touched that. And I'm feeling a little bit guilty because I teach people in the offer that I'm giving them for that page the 5 best ways to get people coming to you, getting people attracted to you for free. And I do those, but I've been doing them really skimpily over the last month because I've been so busy on other people's projects. For example, one of those strategies is to participate and add value to other groups that you belong to that are in the same interest as you, and other forums and places online. And I have not had any time in the last 2 weeks for sure to do any of that. I barely popped into my groups that I love and care about. I barely popped into my own groups in the last couple of weeks, much less had time because of the other priorities that I've got that are more important right now, helping other people, to pop into those groups and share that particular activity. But I got a little bit of time yesterday, and I'm going to make time today to do that because number one, I miss what's going on in all the groups and I want to catch up. And number two, I know that I can add value to them by answering questions and helping out. And I feel a little guilty when I don't get a chance to get in and help out. And because a lot of times people just have a quick and easy question. And I know how hard it was for me when I was getting started, that I didn't want to ask for help. So I would struggle and I would try to figure stuff out, and I would go to forums, I would go to groups, and I would read frequently asked questions to try to figure out how to do something. Because I know if I figure out the solution myself without asking and somebody giving me the solution, if I've had to go through the process of figuring it out, that solution will stay with me much longer than if somebody just gives me the answer and I plug in the answer. I think of something called CSS. It's like custom coding for things online. I know nothing about it. Now, somebody gave me a site where I can go look up the code and I can just plug it in. So by going to that site, looking up the code myself and plugging it in, I'll remember that solution far longer than if I ask the question on a forum, somebody tells me the code, and I just copy and paste the code. Next time I need to figure that out again, I'm going to have to ask the question again and go find it out. Or I like the solution better that I know the site, I go to the site, I look it up, and I know how to solve that problem now over and over and over again, versus me asking and then having somebody else solve it for me and me not really understanding the process. It's kind of like when you are the passenger in a car and you're going somewhere, like in a new city, or I use the example of our cabin. We've had a cabin for like 10 years in the family. It's a family cabin. And I've been going up there for 10 years. And I almost never drive. I think I've driven once or twice up there. So after 10 years, I still don't know where anything is. Because as a passenger, I'm not consciously paying attention to how we get from point A to point B and where things are. So things that everybody else knows how to get to up there, if they say, we'll go drive to the store, I'm like, okay, remind me how to get to the store again. Because I've never paid attention. And I think it's sort of the same thing with these things and learning things online and solving our own problems. If I don't consciously participate and actively be involved in the process, I don't necessarily retain it for future use. And I like to retain it for future use. So I'm going to work on that and a couple of those type things today. But my whole point was I like to go to provide help and coach people through how to find their solutions and how to solve problems like that in the groups versus, and I'll just give them the answer too, but I'll say, here's the answer, but here's how you get it. Here's where you go next time to find this solution so that you know how to do it. There's so much information out there, and there's so many ways to figure out how to do things that people need to remember to try to solve the problem themselves first, because that gives them personal power versus just expecting somebody else to solve it for them. So today, catch-up day. Excited to have a catch-up day. I might contact my sister and see if we can buzz over to my grandma's. My grandma's 99, and we don't have her Christmas tree up, so I'm feeling a little guilty about that. So I'm thinking, since I've got a day today, maybe we should pop over and do that. People are always more important than things. Word of wisdom from the Pajama Grandma. So that's it. Go out, do whatever you got to do today. Make it a fantastic day. Know that whatever you want to do, you can figure it out. There's a solution to anything. Just look for it, ask, Google it, Quora it, go to YouTube, look for a video on it, because go to Wikipedia. There's probably, I say Google is your best friend. Everybody says Google that shit. The kids used to say that whenever I had a question about something, especially technologically, because some of us are older and we're not necessarily awesome at solving technical problems. I mean, I call my cell phone a camera. That's the major use of my cell phone. So that tells you a little bit about me and technology. But they'll just say, well, Google it, Mom, and then you can get 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 100,000 answers to your question, and you're bound to find the solution there that works for you, whether it's an audio, a video, a blog post, or whatever. you can find the answer to anything you want to know. All right, that's it. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Have a fantastic day. And of course, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye. Pajama Grandma out.